Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing excellent. We are just days away from starting to pull the engine for the right-hand drive FC. I want to give you a brief update and show you something really exciting that I've been very excited for. We finally got done in the garage. Alright, so inhabiting my patio is the beautiful 13B, all cleaned up. You saw that in one of our previous videos, but she's just sitting here ready, waiting to go. I picked up some new hardware today so we can finalize some mounting of some pieces there. You see the engine hoist by my lounge chairs. Pressure washer, must be doing some cleaning. So as you can see, clearly my wife is out of town because the yard is full of car parts. Took the transmission out, getting that cleaned up. Drive shaft, that's the transmission cross member. This is the accessory mounting bracket, because obviously we're going to need to put the power steering pump, which is also out here getting cleaned up, and the AC condenser onto this bracket. So I'm spending some time getting that degreased and then just polishing it up a little bit so it will match more to the engine. And again, I'm not trying to make all these parts perfect. They're going to go in an engine bay of a car that's going to be driven a lot, but I just want a nice base to start with. One of the reasons for that too, especially with something like your transmission, is because when you bolt things up and you fill them with fluid, you want them to be clean so you can see if there's any new leaks developing, so you can trace those down instead of just looking up in the engine bay and all you're seeing is a bunch of black crud and you don't know where this leak is coming from. So that should help us troubleshoot things if they come up as we're going along. But this video is about the garage again, which we've been working on getting more organized and in better condition to work on our vehicles. Let me show you what I got. Okay, you guys, very exciting. We got a lift. Just kidding. I wish. We're still using a jack. But if you've been with the channel for some years, you know that we always work on this washer and dryer. Now, although we've put in shelving and made it look nice and done our best to protect the surface, as you can see there's interior car parts on here right now, this is obviously not the right workstation. You can't really do anything with force on here. You're worried about scratching it. We have scratched up the washer and dryer. Obviously they're not that important. They're in the garage, so they don't have to look beautiful. And we have, of course, Jeff's welding station / our laundry basket holder right next to it. So we've been working hard to try and get our home garage to be functional, to not only work on vehicles, but to make it efficient and to make it a good place for filming when we make videos for all you out there. This is a huge piece of that puzzle. Boom. So finally, I was able to get a hold of this Yukon tool chest from Harbor Freight. I've been coveting this thing for a while, and it is not cheap. And it is cheaper than some car parts. When you're trying to buy those car parts to make content, get the cars running the way you want, obviously finding the extra money to buy this is a little bit of a challenge. But been doing a little bit of a side job, doing some DoorDash, just to pay for stuff like this, and we got it. And when I went to the store and when I called ahead, they're doing pre-sale only because these are very, very popular. I'll tell you why in just a minute. And I went there today to get some other stuff, just miscellaneous things you need, like consumables. Harbor Freight's great for consumables, you know, drill bits, grinder wheels. I was looking for some toe straps actually today. And I asked about these and they said, oh yeah, the new wait time. Originally, if I ordered it back in February, I would get it in the beginning of April. Now they said it's July. And I was like, oh my God, well, whatever. And there the cashier says, oh, I think we've had some cancellations and we don't have it in black, but we have it in blue. And they went back, sure enough, and I was able to grab it. So I went ahead and got it. And the blue looks great. It doesn't match anything, but I don't really care because we need a nice workspace. So in addition to that, I went ahead and there's some toe straps, but I went ahead and picked up a matching power strip with USB charging, a swivel roller seat, and I actually got just a cheap welding helmet so that I can watch Jeff when he's welding so that I can start to learn myself. So this is all very exciting. So let me get this put together and get this there where I want it, and I'll show you the full extent of my plans. So that sits down in there. That's pretty easy. This pops on top. that's it. All right, so this is the setup. As you can see, it fits perfectly in the space that we cleared out to access the door, which you do want to still be able to access, but again, this is on wheels, so this just swings out. So if we're going in and out, we still have access to the door, so you can go in the back, get what we need. And out here where you can see the shop vac and some yard stuff, eventually we do want that. We're gonna clean that up, build a small shed over here so that we can have our fabrication stuff here. We're gonna put another awning instead of on the other side of the house so that we can just centralize everything over here to take care of that. So this piece is really cool. It's obviously like quality built power strip, so you don't have to worry about blowing a fuse. And if we do, there's a reset right on there. But I can set up grinder, power tools, Dremel, whatever I need to sit and work here on a workbench with my little stool here. If I sit down, get a nice working height, but also it's magnetic. So you just pull this off, flip it over here, and then we can wheel this thing out. I'm sitting on my stool still and moving it. Obviously it's empty still, so it's real easy. But here's the plan. We swing it out here and we go, okay, we're working on the engine. Car's in the middle of the garage over here. We put this right over here, throw the stool in between it, and then as I go in the engine bay, tinker around, okay, get this tool, boom. And you say, well, you already have this, Craftsman. Okay, well, first off, this is the catch-all for all the extra tools. All the tools we really use are in here and sitting on top here. So instead of that, we'll transfer these and put them in the drawers over here. The other thing is, this Craftsman is really not meant to be moved. If I move the jack and show you down here, it has these metal or whatever they are, hard plastic wheels, whereas this has actual like Delrin rubber, big casters, easy to move with brakes on them. So that's going to be much more accessible. Additionally, down here in this plastic bin, I have all my electrical and wiring stuff, which is even overflowing from there, and it sucks because I thought that would help, but if you put any bit of weight in those plastic drawers, it doesn't work. And we can use much better for like box storage for all these different parts we have going on. And finally make use of these toolboxes. Instead of stacking them weirdly, they can go to a place where they're actually going to be used. Now this thing is really quality built. As you know, like Harbor Freight, not known for quality, right? Known for cheapness. Well, they're diversifying. They have different brands now. And this Yukon brand is one of their higher end brands. And that's why everything's on back order. It's very coveted. Oh, is there gonna be some satisfaction? Well, I'll probably regret taking that off. But anyway, I already showed you the casters. This wood top is pretty thick, feels pretty solid, which will be great, and it's obviously going to be a lot better than a dryer. These drawers are on ball bearing slides. They lock in the back. So this is just the top one. You get down to these bigger one, it's got 2 sets of slides on it. Comes with these rubber mats to go inside, hold everything in place, and then you've got 6 of these additional drawers. So this is going to be able to allow me to make a one-stop shop tool chest, pretty much, except for the bigger tools, like, and even some of the bigger tools in those bottom bins. I'll be able to wheel this over and be able to turn and get whatever I need with my stool, or even just standing up, obviously. And that's going to speed things up, make things smoother, more time efficient. Time is money. We both have full-time jobs and second jobs and personal lives, so being able to do that is great. So there's one more thing I want to cover in this video for update on what's going on with the More Garage shop, and then I'm going to nerd out and put some tools in here and show you how I organized it. So over here on the side of the house, it's like my junkyard work area where no one bothers me and tells me to pick things up. I have a Harbor Freight tent over it and everything. But here's the challenge. It's very separated from the garage, so we end up splitting tools half and half, carrying them back and forth a lot, and that's a bit of a problem. So in order to eliminate that, like I mentioned, we want to move our heavy duty bench grinder, our vice grip over to that other area out there, build some additional storage, etc. Plus this area, as you can see, I need to go through a lot of this stuff and organize it, throw it away, and probably sell a bunch of it. I got extra door cards over there, fans I don't need, etc, etc. So this is a pack rat area, so I want to go through it anyway. But what I also want to do while I'm doing that is get rid of these storages and put long ones along the back, because we have things that we need to store like fenders, exhaust pipes, bumpers that need a lot of space, and if we can get it back there, we already don't use it and we don't have any way to organize it, so it's just a pile back there. Once we do that, see, these storages were built before we had the car over here, and it was for like general pool supplies and stuff like that, and since then it's been overtaken by car parts, and again, these plastic bins just do not work. So a lot of it I need to get rid of, but the other stuff needs to be stored differently, like on a shelving lengthwise type of situation that's more structurally sound. So we'll use a lot of the parts from this, the wood, and just make it back there. But what that does is it allows, because we are going to be working on this chassis over here, us to move it over so we can get on both sides of it and have it in the middle. And then we will still have the challenge of bringing things over here, but we'll have that big rolling tool chest. So I can just roll that whole thing over here, have it right underneath the tent and everything. I already put up some lighting, and we'll be able to dive into the burnt FC to bring it back in its glorious restoration. So that's the whole plan. Tell me what you think. I'm gonna go get this tool chest organized with the tools and what I have in mind, and then I'll give you a final look at what I got in there. Guys, one quick thing before I forget. Remember the RPM Act. I'm going to leave a link in the description below. Super, super important. If you clicked on this video because you want to know about this tool chest, please take a look at it. Basically, for us car enthusiasts, it's restricting the ability for us to modify our cars. Okay? I'm not even going to get into the whole climate change part of it. The point is, we should have the freedom, if we want to spend the time and money, to modify our cars. Period. End of discussion. They're trying to say it is illegal to modify any part of the emission system on a car, even if it's only for competition. That's not cool. That destroys a billion-dollar industry of aftermarket part suppliers and performance parts manufacturers. Millions of jobs, billions of dollars. Not cool. We just went through a huge global pandemic. This is not the time. This is aimed at the wrong place. If you want to go and deep dive yourself and figure out where your CO2 problems are coming from, it's not from motorsports, it's not from people modifying their cars. I'm going to get off my soapbox, get back to the video. Okay, so I've taken some time, and I don't know if you can tell, but there's already a lot of stuff off these shelves and a little bit more organized. This little plastic container I mentioned is only holding wires now, and got some things here we'll talk about in just a second, but let's take a look at what we got so far. So top drawer here is basically what I most commonly reach for and use, right? So 3/8 socket set. These are what was sitting on top of the tool chest over there. So most common use sizes, of course, an extra 10 Allen keys, a couple of pliers, multi-tool, assortment of screwdrivers here. And it may seem like, oh, that's no big deal, you just have some screwdrivers here, but if you have, like most people do who work on a lot of stuff, a screwdriver drawer, you're like, okay, I just need that one Phillips, and you're like, where is it, right? Same thing with your wrenches. You're like, okay, where's the 14? 14, oh, here's the 14, right? So this sort of setup makes it better, and that's kind of, obviously we still have some space here, so that's what I want to use this for, is just basically this is where you get stuff. Oh, cut the key. So same thing as we go down, so blank, half-inch drive, quarter-inch drive. Gonna add more hand tools in here. Just have the rivet gun in there right now. This one has flaring tool kit, brake caliper compression kit, tap and die set, more brake parts, all fit in there. Over here, we get down here, we have the electrical drawer. So again, I was going over to this drawer, trying to pull it out. Where's the crimper? Where's the crimper, right? Now it's just wires, consumables I'll lay out ahead of time. But right here, boom. Wire stripper, wire cutter, multimeter. This is a signal tone tester. Of course, some zip ties, gotta have that. D-pinning set, barrel crimpers, standard crimpers. Down here, I've got a soldering gun kit. In here, this is pretty cool. So this fits right in here. This thing I just picked up at Ross. This is gonna help a lot too. It's a tackle box. Hold on. Make sure nothing falls over. Open up the tackle box. All my different electrical connectors, shrink wrap, solder connectors, and room to add more as we get some more projects going. Even little bits on the top if I want to use something for that. Oh, okay, I don't know how to open that, but that's not the point of this video. But the tackle box fits right in here nice and neatly. And then of course I've got a timing light and my trusty heat gun. So obviously I've got extra drawers here. And as I mentioned, there's that whole space on the side of the house that we haven't even organized and put away yet. And as we go through all this stuff, a lot of the reason this is so unorganized is because we kind of decided to re-tackle organizing it when we already had a bunch of stuff preloaded in here. So we have parts going on Jeff's car, a lot of electrical and sensors going on my car, obviously brake calipers we're working on. So as we finish the upcoming projects on the FC and the FD, some of this will naturally clear out, and then we won't be putting it back in the same fashion. So, again, very excited for this level of organization. The other thing this gives me is right now I just have my trusty dusty mobile light above, but I will get one of these LED fixtures mounted right up there, so I have plenty of lighting. And looky here. So I got this little GoPro mount here, so I'm going to be able to put much better shots of me working on things instead of just being over on the washing machine. So overall it's going to help making videos, help make things more efficient, and I'm very excited for this little thing. Obviously I'm nerding out right now over just some tools, but not even a tool storage. But anybody who does this kind of stuff knows how helpful this is. So right now I'm going to take advantage of that mount and fast forward for the outro, just cleaning this up using my Dremel, my nice organized space, and my new stool. Thank you very much for watching. I know this isn't the most exciting video as far as car content, but it's very exciting to get this level of organization. And yeah, please like, comment, subscribe, check out the merch below if you haven't already taken a look at least. And remember to be kind to each other out there. And oh, as always, when they ask you, tell them you want more.